everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going wonderful. I'm so glad you're joining me. Well, Simon has a brand new release out and I get to share with you some brand new items in the release. Just a little bit, there's lots more to the release. The release is called Sweet, well actually take that back, it's called Sugar and Spice. So you know it's kind of Christmas themed. But let's jump in and I'm going to share with you some of the new items. First up, there's this cute little 3x4 stamp set, and I probably have a feeling I'll be using this a lot on my thank you cards. There are pre-sentiments and sub-sentiments that go with thanks. This is the small thanks stamp set. It is designed by CZ Design, and I just love it. I love the little heart accents. I love that there's a little heart swirly at the end of the thanks, and there's all the greetings that go with it. So this is brand new. There's also a new stamp set that's just the coolest. And that was a pun. It's called Cool Birthday. You have this little big scene here that you can color in. And then you have all of these little critters that can go on that little scene. Have a little disco party there. So that's new and it's super fun. This is a larger 6x8 stamp set designed from Simon. It's called Inside Greetings Holiday, and it was designed by CZ Design also. It says Inside Greetings, but there's a lot of these I think can be put on the outside too. Like Merry Christmas from our family to yours, that can go on the outside I think. And then I always put the larger greetings. The more paragraphed greetings, I put them on the inside of the card. So I just love this, and I love all of the Christmas wishes that you could put on the inside of a card. How nice is that? So this is new. There's a new embossing folder, and this one has little ornaments hanging from a string. So pretty. It's called Heirloom Ornaments. Fabulous. A new embossing folder. There are some new easy strips. This is the Vintage Christmas, and this has a Tim Holtz look to it, at least I think, because you have all the distressing on the typewriter letters. You see them? All of them have it. And I love that there's multiple. So if you want to make a multiple project, these are great for that. You have yourself a and then Merry Christmas, so you can actually stack your sentiments. Now, easy strips are great if you want to just cut them out with a paper trimmer, but Simon does have a coordinating die that will cut these out. In fact, Simon probably has a bundle that will have this and the die if you want to check it out. But I love the easy strip die because it just makes things easy. And when you're card making, easy sentiments are great because you want the hard stuff to be your focal point. At least that's my opinion. Okay. Now we have a new die set that is so pretty. I'll be creating a card with this later on, so keep a lookout for that video. It's called Sleigh Bell. And look how dimensional this looks. And it's only 3 dies that create this fabulous bell. So that's brand new. And then there is a narrow holly cluster. This is very pointed. There's a lot of open ends that you can add berries to. Let me actually take a look here. This is a 4-piece die set. So you have the holly, okay, and then it's very large. Let me get an A2 panel. Against an A2 panel here, you can see how large it is. It fits it beautifully. So this is great for multiple sizes of cards, 5x7s also. And then you get extra holly leaves, you get extra berry branches, and then you get the berries. So it's a really pretty die set. That's brand new. Now, there's another 4x6 stamp set that's brand new. Now this is called Label Slides Christmas. And I love how this is great on its own. Okay, but this is meant to coordinate with the label slides. Okay, these slides have well, let me cut one out and let me show you. Okay, I die cut it out, and this little tab here, you can put ribbon through there, you can put twine through there. I have a video coming up where I'm actually going to put paper through there, so keep a lookout for that video. And then all of the greetings and the label slides Christmas will fit in here. So you have the long one and the short one, and of course there's long greetings and short greetings that will fit in each one of these. And again, I'll be making a video with this, so keep a lookout for that video. And then there's a new stencil set. This one here is a 2-piece stencil set. It's called Large Snowflake Cutouts. Stencils like this make it easy. They're 2 separate stencils, and one is square, one is round. How fun is this? I just love it. So this is brand new. We're actually going to be creating a card with this one. So I'm going to just keep this out. There's one more thing I wanted to share with you that Simon has that's brand new, part of the shop. And I thought this was pretty neat. This is called the Black Glass Glitter Jars. Now, this, it's hard for you probably to hear it, but this has some like black glitter in it. I guess it's glass, because when I'm pouring it out, I can actually hear it. So if you were to put this in a shaker, you could hear it. Okay, but you know what this is perfect for? It's perfect for flower centers. For the most part, in some of my flower centers, I'll use like stickles, but it takes a long time to dry. I think this, if you were to use glossy accents or glazing glue and then add this to flower centers, it would just give it a pop of shine. Well, you know what? If we have time, I'm going to make a flower and I'm going to show you what this does, because I think you're going to really like this. I'm not sure of the price point on this, but I think this is pretty neat, and I'm glad Simon has this in the shop now. Okay. I'm going to grab some cardstock and then we'll jump in and get started on a card. I mentioned we're going to be using this stencil today, and I have an A2 panel of white cardstock, and we are going to do just a light amount of ink blending on this. I have 3 different colors of inks. I have guava, honey, and ocean. All 3 of these are Simon Says Stamp's Positively Saturated inks. And what we're going to do is add little circles of color on here, starting off with the ocean. Okay, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of ink, and need to bring in my little craft mat here, and then I'm going to add some color up here, and we're going to add some pink here to this side. Lovely. And then lastly, down here in this bottom corner, we're going to add some honey, some yellow ink. I love these 3 colors together, and I think something other than blue. I've been making a lot of blue cards, so I'm trying to think outside the box as far as colors go. So, okay, after we have this done, I'm going to take a die set from Simon. This is the Scalloped Circles. Okay, and I'm going to take the 3rd from the largest. I think it will fit here. Nope, I think I need to take the 2nd from the largest. Yes. Okay, so I know it's going to fit my snowflake stencil here. I'm going to cut this out. Before we cut it out, I think I'm going to do a little bit of splattering. Okay, so let me take my panel here. I'm going to bring in my splatter box, and then we're going to use some Simon Says Stamp Positively Perfect Splatter Medium. Let's open this up here. Okay, we'll just take the brush, and we will add some extra snowfall in here. Wonderful. I'm going to use my heat gun and dry this, okay? So we have some splatter on there. It's kind of hard to tell, but in the close-up pictures you'll be able to see it. Okay, now I'm going to take that die, and we are going to cut out a half circle here. So now we have a partial circle. What I'm going to do is bring back my stamp and stencil mat. We're going to add this, and then I'm going to take my Snowflake stencil. Okay, and then with the same inks and the same brushes, I'm going to intensify the color on my Snowflake. And I'm thinking, in my mind, I was thinking maybe this will give me a more of a circle look. I want to go kind of dark. And on this, I want to make sure that all three colors are connected. And you know what's nice is I see that the ink is kind of resisting on that splatter medium. That's really nice. That's kind of a bonus. Okay, so that's my yellow. So when you mix yellow with the pink, you get an orange here. And when you mix the pink with the blue, you get a purple. Okay, lovely. And you can see how the splatter is kind of resisting the ink. That was a nice little bonus. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, lastly, we're going to take our teal ink, or our ocean, and we are just going to add some color here. Now the ocean is going to mix in a little with the yellow, so we're going to have a little green. Okay, let's wipe off our stencil. We're going to wipe off our stencil here, and then we will remove it. I think that looks so neat. Love the way that looks. Okay, let's take our panel here. And then I'm going to bring in, I haven't did this in a long time, I'm going to bring in my white gel pen, and I'm going to add some faux stitching around the circle. Some areas it's hard to see. Let's see. Let me zoom in. I'm so far away. Okay, some areas it's hard to see the stitching, but on the darker areas you can see it. Now I'm going to bring in my stamping positioner. We're going to use the Small Thanks stamp. And I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to stamp the lowercase thanks. Thanks, and then, you know, snowflakes, we have millions of them. So I'm going to stamp thanks a million. I love that they include the little hearts. And you know what? As I'm looking at this, you know what I think I'm going to do? Instead of a white gel pen around the edge, I'm going to bring in a black marker. And I'm using my Memento marker. And I'm going to do some black stitching instead of the white. And let's see if we can do this. Next, I'm going to bring in some black twine. This is my Lawn Fawn black hemp twine. And with the scalloped edge, it's really easy to add some twine along the edge of your circle here. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go 3 scallops up. There we go. I wrapped it around twice, and I used the scallops to kind of secure it. It works out fabulous. Okay, I'm going to take my circle. I did pop it up with foam tape. I'm just going to place it in the center all the way up to the right side of my card base. For finishing touches, I'm going to bring in my Simon Says Stamp Assorted Moonshine, and we're going to add some clear sparkle here. Okay, and then that is all there is to that card. Now, since we have a little bit of time left over, I'm going to share with you how to use the black glass glitter. Okay, at least how I would use it. I'm not sure of the intended purpose for this. I'm sure the purpose would be universal because it's a craft item, but I'm going to show you how I would use this, okay? I'm going to put this to the side, and I already die cut out my sunflower here. I'm using the Simon Says Stamp Jaunty sunflower. I created a card with this, and I'll link it at the end, where I turned this into a daisy, kind of, sort of, if you want to check that video out. But these are very easy to layer together. I just die cut 2 out with a light and a dark yellow, and all we're going to do is layer them together. Doesn't take no time at all. Now, with the flower center, I cut it out with brown cardstock, and I'm going to bring in my tweezers. Okay. This is the fun part. You could use your glue if you wanted, okay, but I'm going to use my glossy accents, okay? Let me bring in some scratch paper. Okay, and then I'm going to add glossy accents over my flower center. You kind of really don't need too much. Okay, and then we're going to take our black glass glitter jar, and we're going to go over that flower center there. Give it a little tap, and look how cool that looks. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it just adds that shiny. I'm going to actually scoot over some of that glitter to the spot that was under the tweezers. But look, it looks, I love the dimension this has, the texture that it has. It just adds so much. I already put foam tape behind here. I just removed the release paper, and all you do is add this to your flower center, and it just makes it stand out. And you could do this probably with any flower center. You see that shine? Super easy to do. I'm just going to funnel this back in there. Okay, so that's what you can do with this. But now we have a flower without a card. So let's make a card real fast. Can't leave you hanging with just a flower. Okay, I'm going to go quick and easy. First, I have a panel that measures 2.5 inches wide by 4.25 inches tall. I'm going to bring in my stamping positioner, and we're going to stamp our greeting. I'm going to be using my Small Thanks stamp set. I really like this. And I placed thanks on the bottom here, and then I put for thinking of me. I just used my flower as a guide. And then I'm going to bring back my VersaFine Claire. And we will stamp this right here at the bottom. Now for my card base, I created an ivory card base, an A2 top folding ivory card base. And then I have 2 strips of black cardstock. I'm just going to layer the strips at the very top here. Okay, so we just have 2 black stripes on the very top, and then I'm going to take this panel and I'm going to line it up all the way at the top here, making sure it's centered. We'll just tack this down. This card's kind of quick and easy, but I think I really like the elegant look of it. And then I'm going to take our sunflower that we created with that glitter. Again, look how cool that is. We're just going to place this right in the center, keeping it clean and simple. And then I'm bringing in my cottontail embellishments. We're going to add a few sequins. And then that's all I'm going to do. It's a very simple and clean card. But that's a fun way to use that black glass glitter. So love this. Okay, so here's a look at both cards that we made today. Some quick and simple cards, but I hope you get a chance to check out the Sugar and Spice release over at Simon Says Stamp. And I look forward to creating I have 2 more videos coming up. I'm going to make a card with this, and then I'm also going to make a card using the label slides and the stamp set. Okay, so keep a lookout for those videos. Thank you so much for joining me. I wish you a lovely day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.